Good morning, friends. Welcome to my channel, JB's Crochet. I'm Amber, and today we're going to do something a little different. Yes, I'm going to frog all this out because honestly, it's not much. And I want to start over and show you how I'm doing these dishcloths. Now, like I said, we're doing something a little different this morning, but we are not doing a full tutorial. I'm just going to show you how I get it started and how you can repeat it till it's done. Alright, so I am frogging all the way out to my chain. So this is a chain of 20, holding 2 strands of yarn together. And I'm going to flip it over and use these back bumps on the back side of the V's. So the reason we're doing this differently is I'm tired. I had a kiddo get sick right before bed last night, and he has been up every 2 hours getting sick. So I'm just a little tired. I figured I'd come on real quick, record a quick video, and lay back down and just have a lazy day today. So I inserted my hook in the second chain from the hook, and I yarned over. I'm pulling up a loop, but I'm also going to pull it through the loop on my hook. So a slip stitch essentially. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, and insert a half double crochet. So I'm going to pull a loop up, and there's a half double. And the next stitch is a slip stitch. So every row you're going to start and end with a slip stitch. And you want to kind of make sure that the slip stitches are kind of loose, so you're not, fighting the hook to go into it. So I'm just going to keep going across, alternating between slip stitch and half double crochet. And if I do it right, I should end up with a slip stitch at the end if I'm doing my pattern correctly. So, yesterday was a normal day. My kiddo acted like a normal kid, and about 8:20 last night, he runs downstairs, grabs a bucket out of his brother's room, and proceeds to get sick into it, and all by himself. And it about broke my heart watching him on the video trying to hold the bucket under himself. But he did. And yep, every couple hours he would wake up and empty, basically. So I think 3 a.m. was the last time he has had to use the bucket, and it is now 5:47, and I am tired. Because, yes, I fell asleep in between the couple of hours in between, but if you know, it's not sleep. It's not that I fell asleep. My eyes closed. For a very, very brief moment, it felt like. Alright, so I have two bumps left. So, half double in the second to last. And then a slip stitch in the last one. And again, just make sure it's loose. So if you want to count, you should have 19 stitches across after you crochet 20 and then start back. Now for the next row, row 2, you're just going to chain 1 and repeat the same process. You're going to go into the first one, the first slip stitch, and you're going to loosely, and this one's a little cumbersome sometimes. You're going to slip stitch into the slip stitch, and then you're going to half double crochet into the half double crochet. Now, I know there is a stitch pattern out there where it's called like the high-low stitch, where, you know, you do your high stitch into your low stitch, you do your low stitch into your high stitch. Well, this pattern, oh, I don't have an example to show you guys. It is literally doing the same stitch into the same stitch, and it creates this really cool textured pattern, and I love it. I want to challenge myself to find new ways to utilize this stitch pattern, this even moss stitch. What did I do there? Don't pull it all the way. Well, I guess I'm going to pull the slip stitch out now because I was trying to figure out what happened to the yarn right here. It got twisted or something. It's weird. Huh. I don't know. I don't remember it being like that when I crocheted it the first time. But maybe it was. Alright, so that is a half double. So I'm going to slip stitch next. And then half double. So you just repeat slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, half double all the way across. Did I just do 2 half doubles? See, I have to remind myself what I did. Okay, so I just did a half double. And you kind of get a feel for where they need to go anyway, and so if you don't put the right stitch in the right spot, you can kind of sort of tell. But I love this even moss stitch. So, I mean, this whole dishcloth, this whatchamacallits, as I'm calling them, takes, I don't really know because I've been working on them slow-ish, in between other things, and I honestly don't know how much time it takes me when I sit down and do this. I would say maybe an hour, maybe 2. So there was my half double, and so this last V is a slip stitch. So the V's on the first and the last are going to be the tougher of the 2 to get into. That's why you want to keep them loose. But they are doable. And I also try to keep my chain 1 on the end, fairly loose and big too, because that way, I have room to work this first slip stitch and then the next one, the slip stitch when I come back across to this end again. So like I said, you just chain 1, slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, half double, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now the pattern I found, the most recent one for this video, or for this pattern, because I think I've watched a handful. They did 22 rows, and then when they got done with the 22nd row, they chained 10, and then slip stitched back into the space they came out of with the slip stitch. The last slip stitch of row 22, and tied it off. There is a way to count the rows. As you're going across, you'll see these little, right here. See these? Stop blurring on me here. So these right here will start to make that's that texture ridge across there, and you'll see it kind of right here on this side, but it's low. That's because of the half doubles. But anyway, those are every 2 rows basically on one side. So I can kind of sort of feel it between my fingers right here on this side. So this is one row, then this is two, then this is three. And because you know I'm on the third row. Now you keep track of it by counting, but I lose track. I just get to going and lose track. Anyway, and so I will just measure with my tape measure and be like, all right, so I want it to be square and it is X number inches wide. I want to make it that many inches tall. That's basically how I just do it. But I have also been able to figure out that I'll count on both sides. I'll find these ridges. And for every one that I see like this, see how far up this one is? That's 2 ridges, or that's 2 rows. So when I go back across and come back on my 5th row, I'll have 2 ridges. And so I'll know I have 4 rows and then I'm on my 5th one, right? So I hope I'm making sense. So, like when you count one side, you'll have an even number. And then when you count the other side, you'll have an odd number. So, and the other thing that I have figured out with it is the even rows end on my right, so the tail, it'll be on my left. Hold on. So you chain and you work back row 1 towards your left, which would be back towards this tail. So the tail is the end is odd. So if you're looking at it like this with your tail on the left side, for me, I'm a right-handed crocheter. So if it's on my left, I am on my odd side so I should have an odd number count. So I have 2 and then 3. When I go back this way, I'm going to be doing my even rows. So if you look here, there's no ridges yet. You just have this one down here at the bottom. So you have 1, 2, and 3, but I'm going to be doing my 4th row back this way. So my even row, my tail's on my right, my odd row, my tail's on my left. So if I'm holding it like this and I have an even number of rows crocheted and I'm on row 22, then you can end it there if you want to. I really hope I'm making sense. All right, so I'm going to chain 1 and excuse me, it is early. I haven't had much water this morning yet, so that's why my voice is all crackly, tired sounding. But I'm also tired too, so I'm amazed I'm able to actually do this. So like I said, you want to make sure your slip stitches are loose, but you start with a slip stitch, half double slip stitch. Again, just repeating it over and over until you get either to 22 rows if you're following that pattern. Specifications, there we go, good grief. Specifics, then you can end on row 22. Otherwise, just, keep going back and forth in your rows until you get it as tall as you want it, really. Because it is your project. So, and I think I'm going to row 22, if I remember correctly, actually, on most of them. If I'm doing this pattern with 20 crochets across, then I'll do 22 rows. I did one 2 days ago, not yesterday, but Monday, where I did 24 stitches across. So instead of doing the 22 rows like the other ones, I honestly don't know how many rows I did because I measured it and made it as close to as tall as I could, as close to as how wide it was tall. So I measured it until it measured the same, roughly the same width and height, around 7.5 inches or something like that. So, like I said, these end stitches I have to fiddle with just a little bit, even with them loose, just trying to make sure I get into, you know, all 4 strands with holding 2 together. Oh, I need a half double. I think I'm going to do this 1 row and flip off all the lights again and lay down. Turn my alarm off. That's supposed to go off in about 15 minutes. And me and the youngest are not going to be doing school today. I'm going to allow him to sit in front of a TV and watch cartoons while I get school done with the older 2, or while I keep them on task getting school done, and I'm going to allow the youngest to just relax in front of a TV today and just not do anything. Allow his body to heal and slowly eat and drink water. And I need to go buy him some Powerade so he can get some electrolytes back in him. I'm a big proponent of Powerade over, that Pedialyte. I'm sorry, but the Pedialyte nonsense that's in the stores, like, it's Powerade is so much better, and it's not junky. I get that there's, you know, I don't know. That's in my honest, humble opinion. That's my feelings on it. I've come from doctors and stuff, been told to just use Powerade over, even over Gatorade. All right, so now I have done, I think, 5 rows. Yeah, because this is my odd side. So if you look, you can see the 2 lines, or those 2 ridges I was talking about. These lines of these, you know, I think these are the 3rd loops of the half double crochets. Yeah, that's what they've got to be. Anyway, so you can see that you've got 2 there. So we've got 2, 4, and then, like I said, I did my 5th row back, and it made that 2nd ridge kind of pop out like that, right? If I flip it over, excuse me, you can almost see 3. So that tells you this is an odd side too. Excuse me. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm counting by 2s. So you got 1, 3, 5. Or if you don't count this one, you go 2, 4. You got an odd, but then that's not right, because you still have this 1 row down here below you. So that's why I was trying to tell you. You can see the ridges on this side, kind of. But you don't really see them until you've done the rows and they pop out. But I mean, you can almost make 3 out on this side, but it's not. You got 2, 4, and then 5. So there's 5 total rows done. And like I said, you just keep literally chain 1, repeat, slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, half double, all the way across, start and end with a slip stitch, and you just keep going and make it as tall as you want, or as long as you want. And you can use that stitch pattern in any project manner. Like, this is going to be a whatchamacallit, dishcloth, hop pad, trivet, whatever, you know. So you could make it wider. You could do this with acrylic, you know, if you're making like a scarf, or, you know, whatever application you use this even moss stitch in. But this, in mine, it is going to be a whatchamacallit. I gotta see if I put it in the right spot. Nope. I always try to put my hook in where, if you ever notice and you're pulling down, notice how it's pulling towards the front. That's the correct way to place the hook in, because you'll notice as you're working anyway what side of the hook, when you're chaining and working, the working yarn goes out of anyway. So if you watch, it'll stay on the front side. See? it's coming from the back to the front. From the back to the front and out to the working yarn, right? So like, you know, that's how I know. It's a little tip on where to put your hook in when if you like say, okay, I've got to put it down. I'm like, all right, I got to put my hook back in. Okay, well, there's 2 strands here. Even with 1 strand, you're like, oh, which way do I put it in? I just start kind of going like this. Or, you know, put your finger in there to see. I can see that it's coming this way, so this is the front of the stitch. So that's how so if like it gets twisted for some reason, like this, I can be like, all right, I untwist it, and I kind of see where it's coming, and I, you know, stick my hook in where the yarn comes over the front, like that. So, look at that. I started another row with you. And we're 20 minutes in. So, I hope this was an entertaining video for you guys. And like I said, I apologize for it being a little different this morning. But like I said, I'm tired. So, typical crocheter, just 1 more row. And I'm getting tight here, so I had yarn bar from my cream, and it's in this bag, so it's like slowly coming out of there. But it's sugar and concrete, so it doesn't really smoothly flow. Oh, let's see, slip stitch. And I have no idea if my kid's asleep because he was literally just up about 5:15, maybe an hour ago. Has it been an hour already? I don't know. He got up to go pee, and then I was like, lay back down. I was like, I don't know how much sleep you're going to get at this point, but, you know, just try to go back to sleep. And then I was like, hopefully maybe I could get a little more sleep. And then I was laying here going, you know what? I should just get up, record a video real quick, and lay back down. And just have kind of a blah day. So I did get some work done on my cowl for Juan's autumn aspirations, but like I said, I wanted to do it this way this morning. So I will continue to work on my autumn aspirations today, and then I will just show you guys tomorrow on my video, as long as I don't have another sick kid. So I'm hoping it doesn't spread through the house. But you all know, if you have multiple kids, it doesn't stop with one a lot of times. And sometimes it doesn't stop with just the kids. So I'm hoping and praying that it was just something upset his stomach and it is not a bug. But we'll see. We'll keep you updated. So that's all I have for you, friends. I'm just going to keep continuing on this this dish. I keep wanting to call these dishcloths. They're not dishcloths. Whatchamacallits. I'm going to keep working on this whatchamacallit. And I will show you the end product as well tomorrow morning's video, because I will for sure have it done. Because I am already... What am I on now? Y'all are counting with me, right? Oh, goodness. I gotta finish this row and then I'll count. And that's the other thing, is I've had to go back and frog a few stitches out because I've single crocheted instead of slip stitching, because I'm not used to slip stitching for stitches, like normal, regular, in the middle of the project stitches. It's usually, you know, attaching things or... Oh, what am I doing here? I'm trying to skip a whole stitch, apparently. But yeah, I'm just not used to... See, this one got a little tight, so I gotta finagle it in there. All right, my phone keeps scooching over. All right, now you can see 3. So, but I'm on an odd side here. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 7. If I flip it this way, we should have 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, yeah. So that's why I count both sides. So when I'm looking at it, I should be starting my even, right? Because my tail's on my right side. If it's on this side, I should be ending or being on my odd row, which I just finished my odd row. So I have 2, 4, 6, 7 rows. So that means I have, all right, brain, let's do the math. 22 rows minus 7 is 15. So I have 15 more rows left, and then I will be completed with this one. So you guys will see the end result tomorrow morning when I record my video. So until then, friends, I hope you have a fantastic hump day. And always remember, it is a beautiful day to be kind and positive, and go make something beautiful. And let me know if you make one of these, and we'll see you later. Bye. Make a buzz.